I would not recommend building a cabin this way. If you're gonna build a cabin, head to your local hardware store, buy all the things you need, and build it the proper way. Unfortunately, that's not how I like to do things. This cabin build here is actually the beginning of a much larger picture. I'll talk about that in a minute. This timber frame section right here we're looking at, I had some friends come over, we cut joinery, we raised this thing. I won't go into it too deep because we've got a whole video coming out real quick on that. Basically, we did everything wrong, and I'll talk about that a lot in the next video. This timber frame section is actually the central theme of the whole cabin. Aesthetically, structurally, everything's going to be built off of this. So what makes this an unconventional build? First of all, this platform was actually built to put our wall tent on. It worked great for that, but it's pretty lightweight. And it just sits on top of some holes filled with gravel and some concrete blocks. So this last weekend, my friends and I beefed it up a little bit, and we've got this timber frame section on it. But what makes it really unconventional is it's not gonna be a timber frame cabin. This is just one section. We're about to get really thrifty in the way we build this thing. Do you guys remember that derecho that went through Iowa a few years ago? Well, my buddy's barn was destroyed, so my wife and I went in piece by piece and dismantled the barn, took the wood home, and that's what we're going to actually use to tie this cabin together. In order to frame the thing and make walls and doors and windows and all that stuff, we've got the sawmill and we've got this pile of white pine logs, which I'll be cutting into lumber. So that'll be added to the barnwood, which will be super cool. I told you this thing is going to be thrifty. It's a cobbled unconventional build. We've got some metal roofing that I got from my buddy who had hail damage, so that was all free to me as well. So, man, what a cool project. So why do all this? Why build a cabin? What's the point of all this? Well, let me go back in time a little bit. The first project that really got me going down this crazy road was when we lived back in the cities. My wife and I built an old Chevy van into a camper in the backyard of my friend's house. That set things off to motion. Then the past couple years, I built this camper trailer. All of this is on the channel for the camper trailer. And I learned all kinds of things, how to weld, how to do electrical. I learned about solar power, plumbing, woodworking. It was kind of an introduction to woodworking for me. And so the next logical step is to build a cabin. And it doesn't stop there. All of this is actually to learn how to build our own timber frame house, which will be over there somewhere. I already got the spot picked out. And we've got the trees up on the top of the hill, the white pine, which will be used on the sawmill to make the whole thing. So that's what we're really doing, is we're learning the skills, because I don't have the skills to build a house at the moment, but hopefully we will. So one of the most important and one of my favorite parts of designing a space is actually how it's going to look and feel. That's why I put this timber frame section in the middle, because I love the look of timber framing. But also we're going to have a wood burning stove up front, which will also be very functional. A screened-in porch out in the front of the whole thing. Off of this timber frame, we're going to have a loft, which we can put a bed up there or whatever. Have stairs in the back. We'll have a nice place to sit. We'll have all of our books on bookshelves. And of course, we'll have a kitchen here. And that trailer over there that I was telling you about, we're going to actually gut the thing, take it apart, which will be sad, and use all of that to build this, to get our solar power and get everything working. There'll be elements of solar heating as well. That's south, so we're going to put a lot of windows on the south-facing side of this cabin to get some natural heat. So it is unconventional, but it's going to be over-engineered and over-designed. This is a very ambitious project, but I mean, how cool is this timber frame already? This oak beam came off of a tree that was cut down here on this timber by my buddy. So, very cool. And for all of you that stuck around to the end of this video, I've got a question for you. This is an old oak beam that came out of that barn that was hewn by hand with an axe, probably by the farmer that owned the property. What should I do with it? I want to do something really cool. It's split and has damage right in the middle, so structurally it might not be that strong anymore full length, but ideas on what you guys think would be cool to do with this old beam, because I want to do something really special with it. We'll see you in the next video.